nothing's ever felt so right than the way things happened. You know, the way, you know, that I chose to have my leg amputated and the series of events that set off afterwards. You know, if you take any one of those pieces of the puzzle out, things don't end up the same in the long run, and I couldn't be any more fortunate. You know, I think it's important to me, you know, more than anything, to set off on this journey that I know is going to be difficult. You know, and at the same time, face all the self-doubt, face all the adversity that comes along with that, and being a climber from Florida, and at the same time, you know, push myself, elevate myself to that level. You know, that's the part that's so interesting about it, finding something that inspires me, and then making that a reality.
Thanks, Ronnie. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah, Ronnie, come on. Solid, man, come on.
Yeah,
There it
come
is.
on.
Come on, Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie. Super strong, man.
Oh! That's good.
I knew that he was strong, and I knew that he knew what he was doing. I didn't know what he was doing, but he knew what he was doing. I think he was tired of maybe something that was holding him back, and he wanted to be free.
We have stood behind him and supported him, and he's had a spirit that, a very practical spirit, and he actually had to make the decision to have his leg amputated.
A long time ago, he had come to terms. So for him, I don't think it was a painful decision, as much as it was, of course, the surgery itself was tremendously painful.
There was, what are we waiting for? It's time to get on with life. This wasn't ever going to change. This was it. Here it is. It's never going to be any better. It's very hard to handle on a daily basis, and let's just let's move on.
You know, it was weird because even after I lost my leg, you know, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It wasn't very clear at first. You know, it all just kind of dawned on me one day. I knew that I enjoyed working with people, you know, with climbing and getting into sports as an amputee. You know, it's so much of a, you know, kind of figuring out how to do it. You have people that are mentoring you, people that are, you know, helping you, you know, kind of showing you along the way. And then once you have those skills and that knowledge, it's on you to help other people. And then it just seemed like the natural progression where, you know, the more and more I thought about it, the more and more, you know, I thought that helping people achieve their full potential was really, really cool. And naturally, prosthetics seemed like an amazing fit. You know, getting to work with people every day, helping restore their lives, and at the same time too, share my passions with them and share everything that I learned with them. You know, learning how to walk for the first time, learning how to run for the first time again. You know, learning how to climb again. I mean, all those things were, you know, played a huge role in, I think, choosing my profession. Yeah, there's no, there's no advantage to it at all. You know, it's definitely, you know, light years ahead of where it was in the 70s per se, but there's no distinct advantage to having a prosthesis. And I think that's one of the things that's so cool about climbing, because you take this sport that's already difficult to begin with and you add another layer to it. to date, no above-the-knee amputee has done a V10 boulder problem. It's just difficult, just because a lot of the mechanics of climbing, you're always using 3 points of contact, but constantly for me, since I'm not able to maintain body tension or create body tension some of the same ways that other people are able to, it makes it harder in some instances.
I had seen him falling and climbing back and falling and climbing back. And that in reality has been his life. Everything I do is with this faith that has held me through everything. I still don't know what moved Ronnie, in the sense that I think is a determination that is because I always ask myself, what is he picking this? I mean, what is he doing this? You know, not that I'm questioning what he does, but to me, I want to find an answer. What moves Ronnie to do this or that?
Always look for the heart. You know, the mind gets confused, the mind goes negative, goes positive, you can go back and forth. But the ones that really commits to something and just jumps into it with everything they got, it comes from here. I believe from what I've seen, the drive that he's got, his work ethics, all of those, I believe he can do it. Yes, I really absolutely believe that. He is a driven person.
I don't think I have doubts that he'll do it. Or maybe at the end it won't mean anything to him. You know, I think he has accomplished enough, but I hope that he always have in mind that I want him to be strong always, but I want him to be, when he's weak, we're gonna love him the same. It's not gonna make any difference to me.
He takes a different approach at working on accomplishing his goals than I do, and so I hope his gradual approach leading up to hopefully the conquest of that V10 will happen for Ronnie.
I mean, I don't ever want to try to act holier than thou, you know, because I think we're all susceptible to complaining about the little things, you know, here and there for sure. But I think in the grand picture of things, you know, ultimately, you know, if you have something you want to do, you just need to just do it. I think you just find those doors that open in your life, and you know, you make the decision whether you want to walk through them or not. And I think I just kind of went running through this one. I think with the V10, I wanted to take something that was impossible or that hadn't been done and make it possible. Outdoor climbing has always been my biggest inspiration, and being able to take on a challenge and overcome adversity and, you know, go through the process of failing and getting back up again and failing, but working towards that end goal. You know, the disabled athlete population these days is getting to a point where, you know, the lines between disability and ability are being skewed. You know, they're so close that, you know, it's almost the same level playing field, and basically just to prove to myself that it's possible, but at the same time prove to everybody else that it's possible. And I think there's something inspiring that lies underneath that. You know, that's why.
We're in Joe's Valley in 30-plus-mile-an-hour winds. It might be gusting as much as 60, and we are about to attempt to rock climb Resident Evil because the temps are great. We are huddling for cover whenever the gusts come through because it is blowing sand everywhere. It's pretty awesome. I'm psyched.
What do you think it means?
I don't believe, you know, I'm not a huge believer in fate. You know, I kind of think that whenever people say that things happen for a reason, it's just them rationalizing in their minds why things happen. You know, you get your cards that are handed to you and you push forward. That's all there is to it, and you do what you need to do, but yeah, I have no doubt I'll do it. It's just a matter of when.
I've always enjoyed taking on a challenge head on. With my passion for outdoor climbing, it was just natural to pick a lofty goal and see if I could make my way there. The worst that could happen is that I wouldn't do it, but have a great journey and adventure in the process. You know, so there were always those unknowns and intangibles, but just keep your eye on the goal and keep working towards it every day. And some days you come up a little bit short, and other days you make progress towards it, and everything in between. But as long as you don't stop trying, eventually you get there.
Oh man.
Super awesome. Super proud.
Oh, man.
Good fight. Good fight.
Oh my god.
Yes. Ronnie Dickson, Resident Evolv.
One more holler.
You like me now?
Holy crap.
One more holler.
Yes! Oh my god.
Too much out already.